Good morning. Happy Saturday. It's Keisha with the Beginning Healing Institute. Yes, I'm not wearing my shirt. I'm a woman of abundance today. I'm wearing a different one. It says Yeshua is my Passover. And for those of us who identify this way, this is Holy Week, and it's a special weekend. Some persons refer to it as Easter. So, yeah, this shirt, I wear this pretty much, I wear it throughout the year, but particularly in this week, this means a lot for me. It does. Very, very big part of my life, right? So I want to make sure I note that. And I'm just making this, quick little talk. Perhaps you saw my video this past week, just a few days ago. I was talking about the fact that I did my oral defense and all of that. And the point about today that I'm making this video for me first is to say that, resistance is validation. I remember 8 years ago when I started talking about, father absence and the impacts that happen internally that really is manifested or displayed on the external, and that the external is only the focus or the primary focus that is given to father absence. And I can get into the, socioeconomic and just different external things that society-wise, everyone or most people are familiar with. The media talks about colloquially daddy issues, and really, to me, it really diminishes the impacts of father absence. But again, more serious associations are like more female-headed households, wherein, of course, the socioeconomic status for mostly female-headed households are low. And of course, the impacts that come from that. So again, a lot of focus is placed on these external things, but not much is focused on the underlying parts of what bring about these external parts. And so, I'm really, really just grateful that even though, when I first started talking about this 8 years ago, I was met with skepticism, per se. How do you know that? Or when I start talking about these underlying parts, and by that I'm talking about the biological piece, by the way, biological, the relational, and that kind of thing. And no one really listened. And then, of course, when I decided to do the podcast and my first book, Healing of the Heart, when you're doing something that's meaningful, believe me, we have other persons in history that show us that that's possible, that you're doing something great, you're committed to it. I was about to say trying, and I remember trying is not a commitment. And then you realize that, hey, it doesn't matter if people, believe in you or not. And I know that's a big statement to say, and it's easier said than done. Ask me, I can tell you. But it's true, though. If you really believe in something, you just keep going, particularly if you've had that experience personally. And so, now I've been asked recently, how did you get to this research question or topic? And I have one simple answer: my own pain. My own pain. And not just my own pain. And sidebar, it's really important to do internal work, your personal internal work, with your pain. Because if you don't do that, then you're no good to any other person. You're not good to others. And the purpose of your pain is not just for you to wallow in it, but to help other persons to move through their own or similar pain. And I'm so grateful for the opportunity that I've had the chance to do so and continue to do so. So let's come back to, working through the pain that led me to my mission, which is every woman and girl deserves a positive self-esteem. And so, you can see on my screen here, let me get that off my screen. This video is, I promise to be 5 minutes long. I'm telling you that now. But yeah, so my own pain. And a few other persons have asked me that. How did you get to this? A few other persons in my cohort have asked me, why this? My pain. Again, looking back on being in private practice and the women and girls I've worked with and seeing the same common theme show up, I said, see, to myself, I said, there's something more here. So the bottom line is persistence is validation. Validation that you're onto something, and that's something you should continue to take a look at and continue to, to sift through and get closer to and get personal with, because there is gold. there is purpose. Have a great Saturday. Bye, guys.